Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yo, I hit the jeweler, got some goals. I sold a little weed, but I could never sell my soul. And when I'm in LA, you find me out in Lil Toke. Come a vocal with my ramen, I'ma need another blow. Let's go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 50th episode of the M&K Productions podcast. I'm your host, Matt. It is the 50th because we just uploaded episode 49. That was with the Infinity Film Podcast. We've hit 50. Man, we're old in this, and I'm Mac, and we're joined here by my co-host, Kristin. How you doing, Kristin?
I am excellent. This is a big day for us then,
Yes,
knowing it's 50. I've been probably here for 25, maybe 30 episodes already, maybe a little bit more. How do you think? Because we've recorded a lot ever since, because it's been probably a year since I was actively coming back on the original, when it was just Mac, and then, eventually we combined it, so bringing Best of Both Worlds together. So that's crazy. So it celebrates, 50 and almost a year since me coming on the show.
We're stuck for eternity. We're going to be doing this when we go in the afterlife.
Welcome to hell.
So joining us today on the 50th episode, we got great people coming on to talk about a special topic we got on tap. First off, we got our friend over at Flixtalk, our man David. How you doing today, David?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm so glad to be here for the 50th. It's a milestone, man. 50 years old. I'll be that age soon enough.
Oh my gosh, don't talk about that. You look great for your age.
Oh, thank you so much. But no, I'm so glad to be here, guys. It seems like it's been such a long time since we talked news, and we did that long podcast. Remember that?
Oh God, yeah.
Split into two parts. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a long episode. Yeah. Knowing that was 4 hours, I don't know what trouble we got into there.
We were the Snyder Cut before the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, honestly.
We're also joined by someone who hasn't been on in like a hot minute, and we apologize for that. And it's our boy, the DVD Blu-ray master himself, Rob, aka Robertmakesthecut. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Oh, thanks again for having me.
Man, it's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna have you come back on and do more Blu-ray talks soon.
Awesome.
We just have to, get our footing still, I think, with our podcast. I know.
Yeah, no worries.
So you are still part of the family, and so is David. So.
Yeah, this guy Rob has steelbooks of movies I didn't even know existed on physical media. Yeah. It's crazy.
He's great. He's a great collector. He's someone, if you want to go follow, some entertainment collection development, I think he's like one of the best. Besides, David, of course. I mean, you two do some serious Blu-ray hunting.
I'm more just physical media on a budget. Yeah, like more on a budget or thrift store and whatnot. So, yeah, this guy's just buying the latest and greatest stuff.
Yeah,
and just outshining us all.
I try not to look
and
at
whatnot. He has coins.
Yeah. I try not to look at the banking statements.
Yeah, he has posters signed by the actors and directors. It's wild stuff over there.
When digital media goes down, Rob will be the one we go to for all our physical.
Oh yeah.
I think the best way that we survive, I think, for film collectors, is us, that's actually purchasing the media still, and that's what's like thriving off it, because us collectors and film fans really want the movie, and then it's like families who are like, okay, I don't have Disney Plus or I can't afford it, so I will just buy the Blu-ray or DVD for my kids so they can just rewatch it.
Yeah. For me, it's just like a little, I don't know, it's something because it's tangible, it's physical, you can just grab it, you can see the artwork. It's something about just having a physical copy, not even just the fact that, like, if the internet does go down or, taking your copy to other people's houses and whatnot, there's something about just having a physical copy of something there. And then also, of course, the fact that a lot of these movies that I have, most of them are on DVD, aren't even on streamer. Like, I can't find them on streamer. So it is good to have kind of your own copy,
I mean, I like having a lot of my, favorites on physical. There's some that I just pick up, to have. But I love picking up a movie that I fully support, and just saying like, oh, I love this movie so much. I think has potential to do great success on physical, media. And, I love doing that.
And you're supporting the studios putting it out and art,
the artwork and everybody behind it. Cause hard work goes into, putting the movie out in theaters as also like, on VOD, and then you have the, the release sales, like the physical sales, and that's always important, especially like when it comes to design and everything. So
a lot of folks are buying the digital copies and the digital version of it, but it's not really yours if you really think about it.
No, it's not. And I just wonder.
Yeah.
I just wonder if that time comes, even if, the digital collection, dies out, where all those movies are going to go. Like, are they just going to become like physical, like, downloadable files, man? Because what happens if the digital copies go away and then you're like, everybody has them streaming.
Like to Ultraviolet, that they went out of business. They went down under.
Yeah, they did. And, there's only like one company that I remember. And that I use, and it's Movies Everywhere or Vudu.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying like it's probably be in a while, but if you dependent on that or a streaming service, won't have that title you're looking for forever. It's going to go away to another, whatever the agreement with the movie studio is, the rights. Let's say you have something on HBO Max you want to see, like The Exorcist, and it goes to like Netflix after.
Yeah, that's very true.
They took off Harry Potter too, if you're a Harry Potter fan.
Yeah. I almost spent $110 buying the whole Blu-ray set of The Office, man, because they took it off of Netflix and now it's on Peacock.
And then you got to pay to have that. Peacock. They give, I think only like the first 2 seasons are free, or the first season is free, and then it's like, okay, you want to watch the rest, pay $4.99 or something like that. Peacock I don't think is as expensive, but I don't have it. I just don't think Peacock is going to thrive as well as I don't think.
No, I don't have it either.
No, I don't really know anybody who pays for Peacock.
That's one you never hear in the roster of like Hulu, Amazon, and Netflix. It's like, oh, did you see what's coming out on Peacock? It's like
Peacock's over here waving its hands like, hey, don't forget about us.
Like, hey, let me join the club.
But now Peacock is like gonna thrive because there's that show Friends Forever with the music group that's going around. I've heard a lot of people talk about it.
Which one's that? Friends Forever?
It's got Busy Phillips and Sarah Bareilles in it. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
I've only heard about the Friends reunion.
Oh yeah.
Well, the Friends reunion's gonna be on HBO Max.
HBO Max, yeah.
Still a part of the NBC brand, kind of, but
I'm interested to see what they do with Paramount Plus. All the news that's been coming out about them.
Yeah, I'm curious too. Is there anything bad? Because I haven't heard anything about Paramount Plus. What's going on with them?
No, just other than, the bad side is the whole, 45-day window thing. I'm sure you heard about that.
Oh, that's what you're referring to. Yeah, that should be interesting. Okay.
Or just any other original material. It seems like a lot of they're trying to revitalize. Like they came out with the Sandy Cheeks spinoff from SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, that's so. Oh
yeah,
I heard about that.
Technically, they do, I guess, own Viacom, which is like part of Nickelodeon and whatnot.
Yeah,
but they were saying that they don't know if they're going to have it exclusively on Paramount or if they're going to do the Netflix thing, because I guess the last SpongeBob movie did come out on Netflix. They said, but I don't know. I think it came
out on Netflix in Canada though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think that would have to be like negotiations stuff.
Yeah, I don't personally like that 45-day window thing. I don't know. And I think John Krasinski and his team are pretty much suing, because since the movie's been done with A Quiet Place 2 for a while now, it got delayed because of COVID. That whole 45-day window wasn't even enacted until way after. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they're fighting for people to see it strictly in theaters.
Yeah, I'm seeing A Quiet Place in theaters. When it comes out.
Me too.
It's the way The Quiet Place is done is meant to be seen in a theater, and just especially the sound aspect of it. There's no other way you can get it at home. So I think knowing that, I would sue. It's like, not having the discussion with the filmmaker. I think that's part of the problem, because we've talked about this in the past. When you make a movie, especially for the director, it's their child. They want what's best for them and the best ways to succeed. And that's why it's going to put it in a theater so you can get people to actively see it, because then that's where a lot of the money comes in, besides, having it be clicks and whatnot. You want to see it do well. I mean, a lot of filmmakers going forward are going to want to see, still continue to have their movies still be in theaters. Because that's what they want. They love the entertainment aspect and love people seeing come together. That's why we all love movies, because we all love coming together and talking about it. So I would, it's interesting to see how, this has been such like a huge discussion around it. Because I mean, look at Denis Villeneuve's stuff.
Yeah.
He would love to sue.
Is that still a discussion right now? I mean, they said that they were going to pull it from HBO Max and release it in theaters only. Then the people from Warner Brothers were like, no, it's still coming out on HBO Max same day. Yeah. What's going on with that? We're a little confused the last couple of days.
I see this now as the Taylor Swift and Katy Perry, Nicki Minaj scenario, because not Nicki Minaj, Katy Perry scenario, because HBO Max and Warner Brothers started as friends, or no, I should say Denis Villeneuve and Warner Brothers started off as friends. They worked together, Warner, Denny to pro money, and then it was announced we had a pandemic. Of course, they're going to delay the release, and then to go behind somebody's back and cause some trouble on set and whatever, it just causes a rift. And, knowing that, you're going to want to sue somebody because, they weren't, discussion wasn't had, to come to terms with anything. It's just interesting, because all of that, so it's just like bad blood.
I do like that directors are kind of fighting back to preserve their movies, being seen in theaters. And like all the promotions they're doing for like Fast 9, I know it's kind of goofy that they're releasing trailers of like Vin Diesel, like, you gotta go back to the movies. You know what I mean? Like they even parodied it last night on SNL.
I didn't even see it last night. I want to see it. After this, I'm gonna watch that little thing I saw, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Anya Taylor-Joy, I think did a pretty good job. I mean, as far as yeah, she's pretty funny. As far as like the overall SNL, I think the cast has been going downhill for such a long time, though.
Oh,
just in my eyes, but
it's nowhere as good as what I said. I've been telling people for years where it used to be. One of my career goals in life was, at a young age, was to actually work for SNL, and I loved that show so much. When I was,
do you have like a favorite golden age of yours, like the best decade, I guess?
Anything from I love the days of like Gumpy, and I love the Will Ferrell age. Jimmy Fallon used to be good. I liked, of course, the Maya Rudolph, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler. Bill Hader, Jason Sudeikis days, like those, like I go back to this day and I still rewatch, the old skits, even if they weren't as good. I still go back and watch some of them, and you can tell there's just like this change where it feels like it's almost Disney Channel vibe, where it's like the humor is like subpar. I mean, when they did that Elon Musk, it just brought out the worst of the worst for that, because Elon could have really been funny. I just think that, knowing the cast gave everybody the objection to, not work for that episode, which I thought was kind of dumb. I think they just brought out the worst of the worst, saying that, okay, we don't like this guy, let's give him bad material. That's what I
actually really did like that Gen Z skit, the first one that they had, the Gen Z hospital. I was laughing so hard.
I hated that skit so much. I was talking to so many people about it.
That
Mario skit was awful. Grimes and thank God bless Kyle Moody. I just have to say he really pulled through with that skit. He's like, all right, I'll just do my best Luigi impression. And,
that one, the courtroom one was bad. I didn't like that one either.
Yeah, that's the one. And oh my God, was that?
I'm talking about the Gen Z hospital, though. Do you remember the first one?
Gen Z hospital, yeah, that was awful.
Michael Che got a lot of backlash because he wrote that skit, and people were saying that he was making fun of African American lingo or something, or the vernacular. That's what he said. But it has nothing to do with that. I thought it was like more just making fun of Gen Z TikTok generation because
that's how I saw the skit as.
Yeah, my girlfriend works with younger, in their early 20s, even like late teens and whatnot, and they talk exactly like the skit was portraying. That's why it was funny. But they try to make it a little more than what it was.
That's how I saw it was, and maybe it's just how the actors also part of it. Maybe we're just not.
It was cringe. It was cringe. Yeah.
It's just like how they come off. I think especially the performances. I don't think none of the comedians are nowhere compared as what we previously had or stand out. I think the only cast member that stands out is honest to God is Pete Davidson, and that's because. Hold on. Did I say he's funny?
He sucks.
He sucks. But it brings in the show's attention because of how he is as a person. With his stuff with Ariana Grande and the movies he's in. He's like coming in with the Suicide Squad. He did his King of Staten Island movie was excellent. I mean, I swear to God, I really
King of Staten Island was good. I enjoyed that one.
And it was one of my favorites of the year last year, like in my top 10. Loved that movie, and he's just a controversial person where he has his own segment on Weekend Update and people tune in to wanting to see what he has to say, but everything else it's nowhere as good as one of my favorites was the Kristin Wang, and it was this woman where she used to get really cringeworthy about a surprise happening.
I don't know if I remember that one.
It was like there's this it's really funny, especially this one. Say what you want, but Taylor Lautner was on this one, and him and Abby Elliott played a couple, and they were gonna have a baby. And Kristin Wang is trying to keep the secret from the parents, and they were because the couple was gonna surprise the parents and say we're gonna have a baby, and she's trying to keep it so hard, like trying to practice, like how am I gonna keep this a secret? And she's like sitting there. It's so funny. If you have to see it for anybody who's like an old school SNL fan, go and watch it. It's so good. Even Debbie Downer was really good. If anybody knows
I remember that
Downer.
One. Yeah.
Especially that Disney skit when Lindsay Lohan was on. That one was good.
I like the older SNL, like back in like 78 to 80, around there.
That's a good one. Like Eddie Murphy. Oh my gosh, that's also golden.
Oh yeah.
I think you could those golden years, like you could tell that some of those people were going to be stars, like actors and stuff like that. With the new cast, I'm not saying that they're completely like 100% cringe, because there's some that I watch and I'm like, they could totally transcend into movies. Like they could cross over really easily and do well. But it's like very, very few out of that whole cast, as compared to like the Adam Sandler days where you could tell that all those guys and girls were going to be in movies. You could tell that, or even before that with like Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, or Bill Murray, or no, I'm sorry, not Bill, like Dan Aykroyd and stuff like that. And you could tell like their time,
John Belushi
was coming. Yeah. John Belushi, exactly. So it's just kind of very few. I mean, I know comedy is subjective, so
very much so.
It just really depends, but.
Yeah.
SNL, man. I mean, it's not my favorite cup of tea, but I'll watch it on a random day. It's like any time of day.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, the two morals. One, don't be Christopher Nolan and just let the process happen and wait for your movie to release in theaters. And two, don't cast Pete Davidson in SNL. And SNL used to be funny. So
yeah.
There you go.
On today's show, after our SNL physical media,
that was our intro.
Yeah.
That was a good intro, though. I'm not gonna lie, that was fun. These deep conversations.
We're gonna talk about some quick film news. Then we're all gonna review the brand new Zack Snyder zombie movie on Netflix, Army of the Dead, and then we're gonna be talking about what we've been watching recently. So without further ado and no more SNL talk, let's get straight into the news.
This is CNN, a network of Turner Broadcasting System.
All right, so the news. So we're going to start off with some big news. Was actually our guest David posted on his Instagram, so he can help me out reporting this. So David, you want to do the honors and announce this first piece of news?
Sure. So it seems like, I don't know if I want to say our favorite actor, but this is the thing. And some people were telling me, that you got to separate the art from the artist. I do think on screen he is a good actor. You know, I grew up with a lot of his movies and whatnot, but I am talking about Kevin Spacey, guys, and he is being cast in his first role since sexual allegations back in 2017. And you know, it's directed by I'm sorry, let me see. He's starring opposite Vanessa Redgrave in, I can't even pronounce it. It's like a French title. Directed, maybe you guys can pronounce it, but directed by her husband Franco Nero. In English, the title is The Man Who Drew God, and it's a film about a blind artist who acquires a godlike ability to draw portraits of people based on only hearing their voices, skyrocketing him to fame. It's not known what role Spacey will play in the film. If he plays that blind artist that's like God-like, I swear to God.
I do have it. There is an update. There is an update to the story. There is an update to the story. According to Variety, they say that he's only going to play a small role in the film as a police detective, and Franco Nero is going to be the main character.
Oh man, I was hoping he was going to play like a homeless person or a street beggar. Or something.
A police of all things, a police detective.
Listen, he needs any money he wants because it's been 4 years since we've seen him in any movie. Because the last movie we saw him in, well, I don't know if you guys seen Billionaires Boys Club. I think I'm one of only 5 people that watched that movie.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Okay, yeah, it made like $1,000 in the box office, but
yeah, and it got bad reviews. It's got like the other controversial person who I say, given how much I love Baby Driver, also had the controversial Ansel Elgort. Remember we had recently, with the allegations of his sexual encounter with a minor, no, I shouldn't say so much of a minor, but a 17-year-old girl, I believe. And, so, but that was that movie.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Kevin Spacey is, he's back. What do you guys think?
Man, I mean,
yeah, someone go first.
Do you want to go? I'll go first. I mean, I was having the discussion because it did break today. We're recording this on Sunday, the 23rd. But it's very hard because people were posting, yeah, let's see what he has to bring to the table. You got to separate the art from the artist. And yes, I understand that, but to me personally, it depends how severe the severity of the allegation. And to me, his allegation was pretty severe to where I won't support future projects. Yeah, I have movies of his, like Seven, Usual Suspects, and whatnot. Yeah, they're movies that I enjoy. I love Baby Driver, and even though he has a small part in it and whatnot, I don't plan to personally just support future projects of his, so I won't be checking this one out. It just depends from person to person. Also, I'm not one to just, if allegations come out, I'm very firm on like, not guilty until proven innocent. I want to see, facts and a lot of screenshots, a lot of facts and things are coming out nowadays, especially with social media, that warrant some of these, repercussions that people are getting canceled or severe even by law and whatnot. But his were pretty. He admitted to it. He admitted to everything. And I really hated his explanation for it because it wasn't even like an apology. It was like him. You guys remember that? He just tried to cover it up by saying, "Oh, I'm."
Too.
Oh yeah, that was creepy. That was creepy.
Like,
Cringe.
They're creepy because, like, if you watch the YouTube videos, it's like him character from House of Cards. Just saying, about innocence and proven guilty. I think like that, or the truth will something like the truth will speak itself. It's like something on the lines like his character from House of Cards would say. And it's like
And we were talking off camera too about how many other of our favorite actors and actresses have these dark skeletons in their closet, and it sucks to kind of know that sometimes the power gets to their head to where these people think that they can literally do anything and get away with it. But I think with me, people do have dark pasts. Like if it's like a Robert Downey where he's had drug abuse, substance abuse, or like a Ben Affleck has substance abuse, and okay, that's stuff that he's overcoming. But yes, he is harming himself, or they're harming themselves. But when you start harming others and you start, things to that nature, freaking, even Family Guy called it before the news called it. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
$10, $5, $8, and I'll do it. Fine. Help! I've escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement. Help me!
How scary is that?
About that. Yeah.
What does Seth MacFarlane know, man?
And
That's what I want to know.
Early stages, even the little people in Hollywood, you can even connect it to like Harvey Weinstein, because it was also when this was all going down. Harvey Weinstein, was coming out with the allegations of him, and there's all those compilations on the internet of like, what did Hollywood know about Harvey Weinstein? It would show like clips like Jennifer Lawrence praising him because the one clip that goes around, it was like him praising him. I think it was like when Silver Linings Playbook was coming out. I think that was the time the clip was released. So stuff is coming out about people. So
and it's
anybody. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say like and end my comment with saying, and I understand why they didn't come out at that time is because a lot of these stars, some were established, some weren't. For the Weinstein case, they just really wanted. They were probably being threatened with, hey, if you don't do what I'm asking you to do, you're going to be blacklisted in Hollywood. And a lot of people don't want to get blacklisted in Hollywood, whether they're A-list or not. And I think that fear kind of, you don't really know until you kind of put in their shoes what you would do in that situation. Yeah, it's easy to say nowadays, like, yeah, I would speak up, of course. What are you talking about? But it's kind of hard to put yourself in these people's shoes sometimes. And I'm not saying they shouldn't have spoken up earlier, or they should have, but it just depends that person and time, in that moment of what the right thing is to do. But I am glad that it's all coming to light now. I'm just kind of afraid that some of our favorite actors and actresses, once again, their stuff's going to come out, But I know a lot of things can be doctored with Photoshop, and there's been things to cause beef and rifts with people before. So it's kind of like a weird time we're living in, with social media. Because they have faked DMs before to try to get people busted, and then they go through actual people's social media and they say, no, that didn't actually happen. That really didn't happen. So it really kind of it's a crazy time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting day and age given our power of technology. When you want to bring that up, I'm sure some kind of movie I feel like will be made about that. So that's for sure.
Netflix. No, it'll be Lifetime movie.
It'll start as a Lifetime movie, and then they're gonna make it in like 5 years later and make it a better movie.
The Hollywood Horror or Horror Hollywood. I don't know, one of those crappy names.
Yeah. For now, be careful what you say on social media and online. And if you're a person of high power, don't treat your other people like scum or all that. Just be aware.
Man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad?
All right, Kristin, what's the next news topic? Because we're like 50 minutes into the news.
Don't worry. I don't think we'll be long with these last two stories that I have. So I brought up Knives Out a while ago, but now we have some news about the sequel. We got some casting news. First of all, we got Kathryn Hahn, we got Janelle Monáe, Dave Bautista, Edward Norton, Daniel Craig is back, and then we got also Kate Hudson joining. How do you guys feel about Kate Hudson?
Leslie Odom Jr. too.
Yes, and Leslie Odom Jr. I love Leslie Odom Jr. I don't know how I feel about Kate Hudson stepping into this Rain Johnson sequel. I mean,
haven't seen her in a while.
I was gonna say I haven't seen her in a while, so
she was in that music movie that came out recently.
Oh God, that's right.
Was she married to David Otunga?
Sia, the movie, the musician who sings Chandelier.
Oh, Sia, or are you talking about Kate Hudson?
Kate Hudson. I mean.
Oh! I thought you were talking about Sia.
Oh no. Someone important, not Sia. Talking about Kate Hudson. I think so. I think it was you, David, who posted on Instagram. It's like, and everyone in the Knives Out 2 sequel, you get a role, you get a role, you get a role. Everyone gets a role.
That wasn't me, but that sounds pretty funny.
It's just like,
everybody gets a role.
It's like, at first I was like, wow, you getting everyone. I realized I'm like, well, Knives Out, like the first one, it really is like an ensemble cast. So you kind of really do need a lot of different people, because you forgot Edward Norton's also in the sequel too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was yelling at all the names earlier. Like I said, Edward Norton, Dave Bautista, Janelle Monáe, Kathryn Hahn. Kathryn Hahn is really riding on that success of WandaVision right now. Not that she was actually excellent to begin with, but she's getting casted everywhere now.
You didn't like her in WandaVision?
Oh, I loved her in WandaVision.
Oh, I thought you said she wasn't excellent in there.
No, she was excellent in WandaVision.
Oh, she was. Sorry.
I loved her in WandaVision. Are you kidding me? That show was like ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm pretty interested in this cast. Not crazy about Knives Out to begin with. I just thought the first one was okay. Like I said earlier, I felt like I knew what was going to happen in the events that played out. So I was just like, then to see it all hyped up, I was just like, okay, it wasn't that great. It's not, and it's also Rian Johnson. So say what you want about him. I don't think he's that great of a director. I do like some of his other films, but Knives Out I think is his weaker film in my book. But I'll probably see it because of the cast. Like, because that's where it's made its money with the ensemble.
That's what kept me interested in the first movie is the cast of the whole family banter, especially like with Don Johnson and especially Michael Shannon, man. I love Michael Shannon. I thought he did a great job in that. And then as God, what's her name? Not Jamie Lee Curtis. What the hell?
Dana Armas.
No, Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, right?
Yeah.
I like the banter between the family more than Ana de Armas is okay. I know that she's like kind of like the main focus on it, and she was kind of like the one that was outside of the family and stuff like that. But I like the supporting cast a little more. I didn't really care for Chris Evans' character. I still can't get Captain America out of my head when I see his face. I don't know.
That was the reason why they cast him. They just wanted him to be the bad boy and just be like, all right, it's Chris Evans. Like, I knew right away. It should have been somebody else in the family. I just felt like he would have been used as like a good luck charm to help, Dana Armas, help figure out. Yeah. Like if they made it like did a really good job seeing it a different family member, then I would have been like, okay, then this wasn't as predictable as I thought it would be. And
Toni Collette.
Toni Collette was good in it.
Toni Collette. Yeah, I don't. I'm just not really the biggest fan of like the murder mysteries. So like the the Murder on the Orient Express, stuff like that, like Clue.
That one wasn't as good. Yeah, I didn't like that. And now we're still waiting on that sequel now.
Yeah, they pushed that back.
Yeah.
It's got Armie Hammer. They might have to start making that whole movie again.
Oh yeah, that's God. They're gonna CGI him out like in the Army of the Dead we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
But are you guys ready for the sequel to this? What about you, Rob?
Yeah, I want to see that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the sequel. I love the first one.
This is a twisted web. This Thanksgiving, tell me everything. Gather the whole family for a killer good time. What's that supposed to mean? It's one of the year's absolute best films. You guys fans? Oh, yes. Knives Out. Rated PG-13.
I think I went to see it twice, I believe, when it first came out.
Oh, really?
I know you got it on 4K. I know you got it on 4K.
Oh, yeah, right.
Let's
You got it right here.
True.
You got the steelbook where it shows off it's the Chris Evans picture.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, see, watch. What you do, you reverse the packaging.
Here comes the spoilers, guys. Watch out. Turn it off.
The spoiler.
Oh, this is audio. Sorry.
Yeah.
Picture it, guys.
For those who can see it, like, did I turn it over?
Yeah.
That's really cool, honestly. That's like a good little like.
I don't know if that's genius marketing or too much of a spoiler for people. Like they get upset for that.
Yeah, if they accidentally do it, if someone were to buy that, not seen the movie, and they're like, okay, I'll open this one day and watch it. They put it back in the wrong way. They're like, oh no, what is this?
Yeah, I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think the guy did that was like, yeah, I totally meant to do that. That wasn't by accident at all.
Yeah. Oh no, I think that was on purpose.
They meant to do it. Yeah,
they meant
to do
it
on purpose.
Yeah.
That was meant. That was smart marketing. They thought they could make it so that a mystery.
So it's going on straight to Netflix, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Next to Netflix paid $400 million for them, so they'll be right on Netflix.
For 2 and 3, right?
Yeah.
For both of them.
I think it would have done better in the theaters, though.
Do you think they could possibly do a small limited run because they did with like Irishman and whatnot?
Oh yeah, they did. I see them.
Army of the Dead.
Yeah, I absolutely see them milking this out to make it go into theaters. But I think it would have been smarter if they just made it so that for at least a good 2 months or so, put it in theaters and then just say, all right, if you want to see this, you got to wait 2 months.
Yeah, I like that. I like that window. I mean, the simultaneous thing, I don't know. To me, it's a little weird because if you really want, there are some movies that I really want to see in theaters, but that I could definitely wait to see on streamer. So it's just a convenience, It just depends on the movie, really. So, but I understand people's argument of watching exclusively in theaters,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, I really wanted to see The Irishman in theaters and like Marriage Story when those two that was like at the time when Netflix was really pushing the idea of seeing their Netflix films in theaters. But I just waited because they were only playing in select theaters, and I was just like, dang, they should have just released this nationwide. They could have gotten more money that way.
I can't even imagine watching Marriage Story in theaters. I'd probably be bawling my eye, like just be so depressed after that movie, like walking out.
Especially nice in a really small, nice independent theater, given the aspect ratio and the cinematography, how really well that done is. I just would have been like, this is a really good movie to see in theaters, but I didn't get to see it in theaters. But yeah, so that's that story. Okay. But the last story I have is we're going to talk some A24, but Julia Louis-Dreyfus is set to star in the mother-daughter fairy tale Tuesday. So I'm excited about this. I've been really liking Julia Louis-Dreyfus a lot lately, especially what she.
That's the one from Seinfeld, right?
Yeah, and Veep.
Seinfeld. Okay. Oh yeah.
And then recently she's made her little cameo appearance in Captain America's, not Captain America. Well,
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yes, you kind of say Anthony Mackie's now the new Captain America, but yeah, she made her little cameo appearance. So I'm also getting this from David's Instagram. So please go follow David on Instagram to stay up to date on some movie news. So how do you guys feel about A24? They're about to have their comeback this year.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
I love A24.
They needed a comeback? I thought they were still on top of their game.
Well, they still are, but they haven't released anything.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Blumhouse needs to come back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, they had Freaky last year.
Yeah, which was great.
I never saw that. That's.
Oh, I saw that. That was good.
Oh, was it good, Rob?
Yeah, I ordered it by mistake. I was messing around with my Fire Stick, and I purchased it by. Oh damn! I purchased it. And
he thought he was getting an adult movie called Freaky.
That's me, Millie. Ordinary, boring Millie.
The Blissfield Butcher strikes again.
I didn't get killed. I woke up in the killer's body.
It's me, it's Millie.
I want my body back.
Come and get it.
He's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
I can't wait to kill you.
Who knows how many of our friends he's gonna kill?
Are you sure this is safe? We're in this together.
It's a slaughterhouse.
And I loved it. I go, oh man, this is good.
An outstanding movie. Did you guys see the thing where Jason Blum did the thing where it was like, my back aches, my bow's too tight, my hips shake from the left to the right. It's like a TikTok thing he was trying to do. And oh my God, he's trying to make himself a TikTok person now.
Jason Blum was?
Yeah, it's on the Blum's. It's on the Blum Instagram page. It's so cringy. That's when Jason Blum stands out. When Jason Blum can be cringy, that's when it really sticks out. I go chef's kiss. This is cringe.
Is it as cringe as Elon Musk on SNL?
I'm sure it will. Imagine at some point Jason Blum hosting SNL.
Doing TikTok dances.
He has all the money, so he could just be like, I have money, so screw all you. I've been making, if you think about it, he's kind of a genius. He just throws like $1 million, $2 million at like all these movies.
Yeah, the lowest budgets.
Make like $50 million and they get like great return on investment. So I'm like, wow, he's got it down to science.
Okay, somebody else go before I bring up the.
I haven't seen Fantasy Island. That's a Blumhouse production, right?
Oh,
Maggie
Q. Poor Maggie Q, man. What the hell is going on?
And our girl Lucy Hale, Mac.
Oh God, yeah. Jesus Christ, man. I rewatched Truth or Dare the other night, and I was like, yeah, this is still the worst Blumhouse movie I've ever watched. Because at least Fantasy Island, I guess, like Maggie Q's in it, and she's pretty. And Truth or Dare, I hate Truth or Dare.
She's coming out in her own Atomic Blonde type movie coming out soon. You hear
I saw that?
Yeah, the protege, right?
It kind of looks good, but then it looks like it's going straight to a streamer. I can only imagine because I don't know. I mean, it has Michael Keaton and Sam Jackson, but I have a feeling they're only in it for. Yeah, I have a feeling they're only in it for like 10 minutes, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm debating whether or not to go see that. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I think it's called The Protege.
Yeah,
Protege,
yeah. What were we talking about? Oh, A24.
Okay, speaking of going back to A24, A24 only released a few movies last year, like First Cow, Boy State. On the Rocks, Minari, and then, you know, they also released Saint Maud, but that was also kind of released this year on our end, on the, you know, in the United States here. I didn't get to see Saint Maud, but I saw everything else pretty much.
Yeah.
It's on Prime?
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Okay, good. I can watch it then. Okay, maybe I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah, let me know what you think about it, because I will say this. It's not the highest caliber A24. It's a slow, dry kind of watch, but the plot structure of everything and the character, our main character, I don't know who the actress is. I thought she had a very fascinating backstory. And you let me know what you think about it till the ending scene, because I really liked it, but I recommended it to a couple people that aren't really, you know, watchers of horror or like A24 movies, and they didn't like it. So it would be good to hear your opinion on that.
Yeah, I still have been meaning to watch it, but A24 is coming in hot this year because we got False Positive coming out this month at the end of the month.
Oh, I want to see that. With
that was really cool.
Alana Glazer
and Justin Theroux. Have you guys been watching The Mosquito Coast?
Don't they have Green Knight coming out this year too?
Yeah, hold on, we'll do that. But have you guys been watching Mosquito Coast on Apple TV?
I've never heard of that.
No, I haven't.
Oh, Justin Theroux series. Not too bad. Not too bad. But then they also got Zola coming out.
Oh, that's
Riley
right.
Keough and Nicholas Braun. And then they got also, Mac just mentioned, The Green Knight.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
Awesome.
Did you see that, Rob?
Yeah.
The trailer
I saw the trailer, yeah.
And has anybody bought the game for that? That they're selling on the A24 website? Because there's a game that they released. Yeah, it's like a board game or something like that. It's like it looks like, you know, yeah.
D&D.
Oh, don't tell Rob, he's gonna pick it up.
I've been seeing people pick it up. I mean, I'm sure once it comes out, it's gonna sell out. But I'm kind of tempting to buy it. And then also they got this year they have a sequel to The Souvenir. And then they also have The Tragedy of Macbeth, which is the Frances McDormand and Denzel Washington movie that's going to hit Apple TV.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
They're going to be in a movie together? That's cool.
Yeah, so A24's got some good projects coming out. So I think this is going to be a good year to make up from last year, given, you know, they didn't really release stuff. They released stuff, but it was like all like virtual or, you know, like First Cow had a short run in theaters. You know, On the Rocks, they did, you know, a short time in select theaters, and then they put it on Apple. Same thing with Boy State. Then Minari, they did their festival run, and then it was like released on virtual. And then, you know, they waited to release Saint Maud, you know, because it was supposed to come out earlier in the summer of like 2020.
That one got pushed back way far. I remember that one remember the trailer came out for that for like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it was pushed numerous times. So this is hopefully to make up, you know, a crazy year from last year.
Do you know what the synopsis is for False Positive? Because I saw that little teaser. I don't even know what it's about. It looks just like some like Omen type stuff.
This is what I thought. False Positive is set to be a contemporary take on Rosemary's Baby.
Yes.
That's what I'm excited about. And for any Tribeca film fans, if anybody's going to purchase a ticket, it's going to have its world premiere at the festival this year on June 18th. So, but it's going to hit Hulu on the 25th.
I saw a trailer for an A24 film. I forgot what it was called. I guess it's like these two girls. He's like, you don't know how I stopped messing with this girl.
That's Zola.
Zola? Okay, that's what that one. All right.
Yeah,
that one looked interesting, but I feel like that seemed like a bell.
Interesting.
I feel like a bell.
That movie's coming out 5 days after False Positive. So go watch False Positive, then go see Zola in theaters.
Zola
and
looks
then
like
a month after that, and then after that, the Green Mile, that's already out. The Green Knight will be in theaters a month later after that.
And I hope AMC picks up all those because they usually pick up independent A24 releases.
Yeah, they typically do.
Yeah, mine does.
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple at Cinemark, so like, you know, advertised there. But I'm seeing all these A24 movies in theaters, except for False Positive. That'll just be exclusively on
Hulu.
So gotta go support, you know, some independent films. So you know, I'm excited for the rest of the year and what A24 has. But you know, that's it on my end. We got to get to the main focus on today's chat, and which is Army of the Dead.
We are putting together a crew for a job.
Yeah, what does it pay?
$2 million for one day's work.
I'm in. You don't want to know the risks.
I bet it has something to do with a helicopter.
Yeah.
Why would I want to know the risks?
I'm in.
So our topic of today, our discussion, we're going to be talking about Zack Snyder's new zombie movie, Army of the Dead, which premiered on Netflix on this past Friday, May 21st. And the plot of this movie follows a group of these mercenaries / ex-soldiers. They go into the town of Las Vegas and try to pull off a heist amidst the zombie apocalypse. And it has a lot of people in this movie. It's kind of like an ensemble cast. Some people we know, and some people who are relatively new. So, yeah, we all watched it. And what you guys think of it?
Okay. First of all, from the cast, we got Dave Bautista, Omari Hardwick, Garrett Dillahunt, Tig Notaro, Kelly Ward. Those are just some of the people in it. But I thought for Zack Snyder, this is his better work. Is it good? No, I just thought it was okay.
Not best zombie movie, I'll say that.
Yes, nowhere as the best zombie movie in terms of ranking and will it be remembered? No, I don't think, but it's kind of crazy for a zombie movie, and given the fact, given that Zack Snyder has explored this territory before, I wasn't expecting no different but to be over the top. We'll talk about some of the scenes that really stood out, but I just thought it was okay. I don't think I saw a lot of people go see this in theaters when they reviewed it early. From some people, I think maybe that could be because of it. I feel like maybe it was a good theater experience, but knowing I saw it at home on Netflix, I just thought it was just a standard Netflix film for a really high budget film.
Jeez, I got to say the complete opposite. I really did enjoy this movie, especially since I was first introduced to Zack Snyder from Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 version, which it's pretty much a reboot of the one I got right there on the wall. You can't really see it, but it's 1978, right, Rob?
Yeah,
I believe it, Dawn of the Dead. George A. Romero's, which to me is still my favorite zombie movie of all time. But I've seen a lot of zombie movies over the years, and I really did like that reboot. And so the only thing I was comparing it to was this new movie to that one, and I really enjoyed this cast overall more than the Dawn of the Dead that we got in 2004. Okay. And I like the setting too as well. We're expanding the setting from just a mall to the city of Las Vegas, where there's so much more landscape. Yeah, a couple of the scenes were I could tell that they did seem a little more made for Netflix-y. That's all I can say, as maybe opposed to watching on a big screen. Because Rob, you said you saw it on the big screen, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you can tell. I mean, maybe it looked a lot more extravagant on the big screen, but I did have fun with this movie. And yeah, it is wacky in some senses, where it is over the top, like Dave Bautista running on top of the tables and stuff, shooting the gun. That part is obviously a bit extreme and stuff like that. But I really did like this cast. I kind of felt for everybody's kind of story, especially when we got an introduction, things just kind of happened a little bit too fast, especially at the beginning. The recruitment process just happened extremely fast for me. And this movie's 2.5 hours. I thought it was too long for me in some
way. Oh yeah, that was one of the downsides. That's one of the I always take notes when I watch a particular film, and that was one of the things. That's one of the weaker points of this film. Its runtime. And it's no stranger to Zack Snyder and his runtimes, as we've previously seen with, the superhero films, So it was no stranger to that. So I just felt a good 30 minutes, maybe even 40 minutes could have been cut out, and we could have just, been introduced things a little bit more, I think, not as quickly, but, could have been developed a little bit more. Some stuff I felt like was a little redundant in some ways, but a lot of this could have been really, really solid for an hour and maybe even 40-minute movie.
Yeah. And Elliot and I were talking about this yesterday, Elliot from Movie Files, is that his gripes of the movie were something that I wasn't even really thinking about until after he had said it, was all the subplots that didn't really go anywhere. So there was the daughter who was kind of on her own mission that didn't go anywhere. It literally went nowhere. To kind of
weak part of the film was that I did before anybody else speaks, but I did not like the daughter in this film. Everyone was talking about how good she was. I just felt she was one of the weaker points in the film.
I thought she was an okay actress, but I just thought the beef that she had with the dad wasn't even really warranted, and especially in the I don't want to give too many spoilers away if you guys haven't seen it yet, but you know, we get a flashback of why he thinks that they don't speak anymore, and then she explains why they didn't speak anymore. And I understand why they did that. Is they wanted to create like a little bit of emotional impact in this horror action movie that we're getting. And I liked it in one sense of that we got to see Batista kind of tear up, and he went there. You know, I'm not saying he went full, you know, made me bawl and tear at all, but you can kind of see a little potential in Batista as opposed to like a John Cena or even The Rock, because The Rock's been in some dramatic films, but not to a point where he tears up and cries. At least I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I think this is like, you know, out of all the wrestlers, I think Batista is kind of the strongest out of all of them.
Batista's an underrated like WWE wrestler turning actor. I think he's one of like he's been in roles like because have you guys seen Bushwick?
Yes.
It's from the directors of Becky and Cooties, and he kind of plays like a former Marine, and it's like the South. It's kind of like a modern day Civil War. Him and this girl have to travel to a safe zone in Brooklyn, and it's a really good film because it's also a dramatic movie, and he shows his range, and it made me be like, you are a very underrated actor. Like you don't get enough credit. I love
the scene he was in from Blade Runner 2049, because Blade Runner 2049 is like one of my favorite movies of like all time. And I love the scene that he's in. It's just in the beginning, but I loved him in that scene in the very beginning of the movie. He's so good. He's really expanding his acting chops. And this is like one where he can show off maybe his Arnold Schwarzenegger side, you know, but still has, you know, the potential to show a lot of emotion as an actor.
And he's aligning himself with good directors and good, you know, co-stars. And he's not just, it doesn't seem like he's just taking the check, like, as opposed to, I keep hating to go back to The Rock's resume, but The Rock has like 3 films a year, man. It seems like, you know, and he's like taking anything thrown at him. And I don't think that's the best thing. Like, I understand you want to, you know, you have mortgages to pay and or whatever to pay off, but it kind of lessens the quality of your resume, to me at least, to have 1 billion movies on your IMDb.
Yeah. And the thing is, for The Rock, he has stuff we've already seen before, or in characters he's taken on before. So you pretty much know what to expect. You know, you have The Rock, you know, checklist, and, you know, and like here, we'll talk about later, I have like a checklist for Zack Snyder, but, you know, it's interesting to see Batista take on, you know, unique roles like we just talked about. He's going to be in Knives too, so, you know, and he's worked with outstanding people like Denis Villeneuve and, you know, James Gunn. Yeah. And he really puts a lot of heart and soul into what projects he takes on.
Yeah, Batista's really, you can tell that he loves the craft of filmmaking and everything, because I don't know if you guys saw, he came out recently that I think it was it Warner Brothers? I think Warner Brothers came at him. They thought he was coming in for a pitch for Fast and Furious, but he said no. I want to do a Gears of War movie. He's been like petitioning for years to be able to do, because he's like, so he tells he wants to do like roles. He wants to not like do the same role. He wants to be different in every single role he plays. So and
I admire him for
that. No different.
Yeah, he'll be perfect for Gears of War. He looks just like Marcus.
Exactly. That's the way he wants to play it.
He looks just like him.
Yeah.
And for him in this filming, I mean, there's you know, there's, you know, the stereotypical characters, you know, the nerdy, the muscle guy, the guy who's trying to redeem himself with his daughter. I think he stood out in the film. Him, Garrett Dillahunt, and then the young man actor who played Dieter. I liked Dieter.
Oh, I
thought he was really, 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 really good. I think I really liked him. Like, the annoying part was in this film, for me at least, Zack Snyder would get a lot of things going with these characters, and he would show, okay, we can get them really developed. He would start it, and then, just spoiler alert, he would just kill him like that. And then it's like, wait, we were just getting to know this character, and feel like a little bit of emotion, but they would cut them off right away. Especially, I think, Mac, let's just play it safe and like say some spoilers, because the spoiler I want to talk about.
I think it's too
Can we?
soon because it just came out on Friday and people maybe still want to watch it.
Okay, all right, but anyways, the one character that speaking of Dieter, something happens to him, and I was like, oh, okay, this happens, but I was really disappointed with some of the character choices and how these certain characters are killed, maybe too soon or too early, or should have been killed maybe a little bit later on, but it was for me like, could have been really, really stood out with some of the characters, but only 3 of them really stood out in my case.
Okay,
so,
who were
like
those? You said Dieter, Batista,
and Garrett Dillahunt, and even the young woman who's like, I think her name was it Katie?
Coyote, the one that played Coyote.
Yeah, I think her name was Kate.
She was.
Damn, no love for my boy Marty Hardwick.
Oh, Marty Hardwick, man, power, baby, all day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Marty Hardwick wasn't too bad.
I liked them, especially. Well, we can't spoil it, but
Don't tell me Spell. You liked him in Spell.
No.
I saw part of that.
I didn't even see
that. I heard it was really bad. I didn't watch it.
I saw part of it. What I saw wasn't too good.
I want to ask y'all. So in this movie, in every zombie movie, they always show the zombies with like some form of intelligence. In this one, it showed that there was an alpha. There were alpha zombies, and they had like a hierarchy of like intelligences, kind of like war commands. And of course, you had that first zombie from like the opening that was like the called Zeus, I guess was the name of the zombie.
Yeah, Zeus.
Yeah, and what do you guys think about having the zombies have like some emotion? Because like there was a scene where like you can see the zombie was shedding a tear after like
that shows a lot of interesting techniques. I think it's interesting to see zombies that carry some kind of emotion. We saw zombies almost have an emotion. If anybody's seen like Warm Bodies. Does anybody remember Warm Bodies?
I remember that.
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately,
I haven't seen it. I
didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was kind of
cute. Let me give you a quick story since we're talking about it. So my ex-girlfriend, she knew I love zombies, and she wanted to take me to see that movie, and we saw it, and I hated it.
Oh no!
It's kind of a YA meets zombie movie, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I know what it looks like.
I felt like coming from like someone that grew up on 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s zombies. It tried to twist the genre in like a happy Twilight feel, and I was not feeling that.
Then again, because we were just coming out of the age of like Twilight, that's why.
Yeah.
It's like
but no, I know exactly what you mean. I was gonna say that real quick. I did like the aspect of the intelligent zombies because we haven't had a surge of zombies since like early Walking Dead days, to where this zombie fandom was like really kicking in the early seasons of Walking Dead. I mean, I never finished that. I mean, I know it's still kind of ongoing.
Yeah.
People are still waiting for the season finale, right, or something like that.
Yeah, people are still waiting. I just think that show has really run its course. But
I feel like
or World War Z. Remember that with Brad Pitt?
Yeah, or so I think the zombie fandom has really gone down. I think he is trying to kickstart the zombie fandom up again, and the only way you can do that is kind of introduce new elements of reinventing zombies. So if he wants to add that, I don't want to give a spoiler, but the first encounter that they have with the zombies in a dark room, you guys know what I'm talking about, when they're all together. I did not like that because I wanted some more explanation of how that was even possible. Like it was interesting, but then it got me thinking. I'm like, I don't know if he's introducing too many reinventions to zombies, but the whole emotional side, the way they communicate, talk, it reminded me of Us, the movie Us, when they're like grunting, like that, So I kind of like that because if rigor mortis isn't setting in, because that's the whole thing about zombies, is why they're moving slow, is that there's kind of like rigor mortis setting in, right? And they're falling apart, they're deteriorating. In this one, it's not. It's almost like kind of like a Resident Evil zombie, but they're not spastic. They're more, they're communicative, and they're still human-like, where it hasn't set completely in with their body deteriorating. But
they're still thinking. That's why they still have like a humanistic aspect to it, which I also thought was interesting. I think it was a unique take. So speaking of that, so
yeah, so I had a good overall time with it. But what are you thinking, Mac?
Did you, I can say I'm gonna say one. It's not a spoiler. What did you guys think of zombies being pregnant?
What the fuck?
That was crazy. I was not expecting that. I was just like, I was hinting it at that one scene. I was like, where he was worshiping like, because there's like a zombie king and the zombie queen, and that's how I refer to them as a movie. I didn't really give them characters. And then there's zombie baby, and zombie babies in the zombie womb of the zombie queen, and then you see
which was also Dawn of the Dead. That was also in Dawn of the Dead. Zombie baby.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, at least with Dawn of the Dead, the baby was born. In this one, he ripped out like.
Spoiler. I mean,
it's not a spoiler.
They don't show that in the trailer, but.
No, but it's like even still that scene. I was like,
oh man, it's too nasty to show in the trailer.
Like, did you really need to like shoot that to show that like what's the point of that?
Yeah, there was no point.
Why?
There was no point, I
think
was
they were just trying to get extreme. They were just trying to go.
Yeah, they were trying to show more emotion to it, and understand. Zombie kings are. His name's Zeus, right? In this case.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're trying to show Zeus that having some form of fatherly emotion, saying that he was going to be like a father. Okay, now I'm spoiling it, so I don't even know what to say this anymore. But anyways.
But not only with emotions, like you said, it shows that there's still a sexual drive. And how is that? Like, how much of that is left when you're when you're dead? When you're technically dead, right? I mean, if they're procreating.
Oh my God! Imagine that. That's crazy.
Because this is the thing too. We were talking about this, Elliot and I, yesterday. Is that how far were the events after that opening scene where they showed that this whole place was like on lockdown? With the
because then they never some stuff wasn't totally 100% clearly explained to me. Because then it shows it feels like some of them didn't re-team up for almost it could be 5 years, but no.
Yeah.
It's like
this is where the prequel comes in, which they already got. They're gonna do an animated series.
And the animated, yeah, exactly. So I mean, we're gonna have
animated series that I didn't hear. I heard about a prequel, not an animated series. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so we're gonna have some unanswered questions. I think, or questions answered, and yeah, I don't know, because I mean, it was enough time for him to go flip burgers at Lucky Boy, so.
That was pretty good.
That looked pretty good.
As he's could cook.
As I'm thinking now, this episode probably won't come out this week. So we can spoil it, because by the time it come out, people would already watch it. So let's just spoil it. Because by the time it come out, they've already watched it, so we can just go ahead and spoil it.
Yeah, it's hard not to talk spoilers. There was a lot of
it's already rated #1 on Netflix.
Yeah, so people have watched this. Who wants to go first with some spoilers? I'll go first.
Go ahead.
You go first, and then I got.
He rips out a baby fetus. Like, what the hell is going on in this movie? Like, what is it? Because they tease that the queen zombie is pregnant. Because Theo Rossi, first of all, disappointed that Theo Rossi wasn't a bigger part of the movie. He was just kind of be there to be like a d-bag. I was like, great, wasting a great actor. And then he's
was
like,
was that the security guard guy or the?
Yeah, that's the security guard.
Oh, I hated that guy.
Yeah.
They made you hate him, and I was like, all right, we'll just eat him.
Then the Zeus, the main zombie, goes up to the stomach. I'm like, wait a minute, does that mean he's pregnant?
Yes. And you're like, yes, she's pregnant.
I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on? And then it turns out that the main thing was just trying to get the head of the queen, because it could make a own zombie army. They didn't really explain that a lot.
To weaponize them and all that.
Yeah, and then
zombie army.
Because of course, why not? Let's create a zombie army, and because that wouldn't cause more problems with the world. I feel
and
like.
Then they go. He brings back the body of the queen, and he tries to feel the heartbeat. Then he digs into her stomach, pulls out the little baby fetus, and it was glowing blue. Which you guys noticed that some of the zombies were blue, the blue eyes and everything, kind of like Call of Duty zombies or something.
Some of them have I just noticed yellowish greenish eyes. That was it, and then their veins would pop out like a bluish purplish color.
Especially when they were turning. Yeah, especially when they were turning.
And then he held it up and died. It's like, I don't get it. Why did that happen?
Now I have some spoilers.
Sure.
2 things. I was really annoyed, like what I was saying earlier, when Dieter was eaten by the zombies. That's what really pissed me off. I was hoping at least we could get some, like if Zack Snyder wanted, the sequel to really drive off or like, create like a franchise, he could at least save at least 2 of the main people, for this film. And he did it. And I was really rooting for one of those characters, because Dieter was the underdog in the series, in the film. Well, and I was really hoping for him.
We didn't technically see him die, though. We saw him close the ball. I mean, yes, he went up against Zeus, but we didn't see him die.
Yeah.
It was hinted, though. You pretty much know he didn't come back. He was turned into, like, the zombie. And I just think that...
He could come back in the sequel, though. I mean, he could become an alpha as well as Omari, which would lead into the next one or whatever, because they said they were flying into Mexico. And it kind of... I was thinking, from the character that I got, character development of Omari, he wouldn't be the type of person that would let himself become a zombie and infect other people. I would think he'd either kill himself or jump out of the plane and just commit suicide. You know what I mean? But then again, you have all those millions and millions of dollars in the duffel bags. It's like it's a really hard thing to kind of fathom.
Yeah, I don't know if I liked the 100% ending of that. I know they were trying to milk it, but I'm just like, all right, I really wish that, I don't know, maybe if it wasn't with Flight Tank or like, cause like, or so much hinted on it, because I know what we're gonna do. It's all gonna be set in Mexico, New Mexico then, and it's just going to be like zombies there, and I'm just like, all right, this is going to be the same rehash again as what we're going to see in that, though. But
I love the opening credits of the movie.
Amazing, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He knows how to
really
do
good.
Opening credits, really good. Yeah. He does them like awesomely.
I really liked that. I think that was a really good standout moment for me.
That was a cool style choice of showing them holding up the portraits. Holding up the portraits like behind the backdrop.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That almost seemed like some kind of music video or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like a backstory too. It's
like showing that they all had families and stuff like that. I thought that was actually that was cool the way they surrounded it with all the action and stuff. I thought it was good.
This movie reminded me of I don't know. Has anyone ever played Dead Rising?
No, well, I don't. Me and my video game stuff. I'm hardly in and around of them.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it reminded me of Dead Rising 2 because in Dead Rising 2 it takes place in this place called Fortune City, which is just Las Vegas after another zombie outbreak.
I remember
zombie outbreak already happened, and another one happens, and then there's a villain that tries to steal money from the vault. And like the ending felt like you get multiple endings, and this was like the F ending where everyone kind of dies. Like it's that you didn't save all the survivors in time. I was like, oh my goodness.
It's like Zack Snyder has so many homages in this movie. I could name like half a dozen. American Werewolf in London in the beginning scene.
Mm-hmm.
Remember American Werewolf in London? They're off the trail. The Moors. They're off the trail, and when his buddy Jack slips and falls, and he picks it up and he goes. It's the same thing that happened to those 2 army guys. If you think about it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the reference with the safe reminds me of Die Hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was like a lot of references to that. Obviously, the Ocean's movies.
Yeah.
Where there was that, and I feel like even your reference to that. I'm sure Zack Snyder was influenced by
Aliens
London.
too. Alien. Remember I was telling you, Mac, earlier, like one of the characters. I forgot her name with the red bandana.
Red bandana. Yeah.
Oh, she was my favorite, and they killed her off so quick.
Yeah, she reminds me of
the other girl I was actually rooting for, and then I was just like, what was the point of having her then? And I was just like,
be cool.
She was an expose that guy, and he ended up trying to.
He locked her up, and she went through the window. reminds me of Vasquez in Aliens. Remember?
Yeah.
She did the same thing. She told her, she that scene in Aliens. She had a grenade and they both then he's with that other lieutenant guy and she holds it and they both detonate. They both died together and they took the aliens with them. And same thing here.
Mm.
Well, I see a lot of homages. Oh, that's what I've seen too.
I have the biggest spoiler of all you guys didn't talk about yet. Did you guys notice the cyborg zombies?
The cyborg?
You guys haven't heard about the cyborg zombies? Everyone on the internet is talking about it.
I was eventually going to talk about the tiger zombies and the zombie horse.
So, I was going to say, because comicbook.com talked about it a couple of days ago. I wanted to pull it up so I can get a still. But so when they're in the scene where Batista, remember in the trailer they show him like running on the tables and stuff, and he's shooting in that scene. One of the zombies gets shot in the face, and it looks like Terminator.
Yeah.
What?
It happens for a quick second. I'm gonna pull this up on screen. Let me share this for you guys real quick. I know we're on audio and stuff.
Go to comicbook.com and find this article.
Yes,
I know. I remember. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I see that. They're gonna be impossible to kill, any of them. They're just indestructible.
I told you, the blue eyes. I'm like, there's something up with that.
So I noticed it right away. I thought it was something with the copy I was watching, but what do you guys think about this, man? I mean, could these have been, made by the government or what?
Those I don't think were made by the government. I think because that's not the alpha then. To me, it's not the alpha then. That would feel like the one that would really do that. I think it might be like a generated one, maybe maybe a different kind of like hybrid or one that developed those special techniques.
It does say a little bit of information. It says, believe it or not, Zack Snyder addressed these robots before the film even came out. A Q&A with Snyder that can be found in Netflix's Army of the Dead. Press notes include a long quote from the filmmaker about the lore of the zombie world. There is an animated series, blah, blah, blah. The animated series is called Army of the Dead Lost Vegas, like LOST, which shows the origins of the zombie infected depicted in the film. And Snyder explained that there are things in the movie that will be addressed in the series, including the role of robots. So we're going to hear about them in the prequel, it seems like. So they are confirmed.
Skynet or what?
What?
They're putting Terminator franchise in the...
Yes.
Hey.
Can I also bring up another reference? I just want to shine some light too, because this was also a father and daughter story at the heart of it. Because
they didn't do a good job of it.
Yeah, you said they didn't do a good job.
No, it felt very like, I don't know. They didn't do a good job exploring it to their fullest potential. It was kind of just like, man, you're.
I feel like the reason why this was hinted on because of the stuff going on with his daughter, because Zack Snyder had a daughter, and unfortunately, she, I believe, took her life. I think that's what happened, and it's sad as it may be. I think this was hinted on that, like a father and daughter relationship, and you could tell Zack Snyder really put his heart into that and exploring that territory. And, I think they tried to do it to the best of their ability, but I don't think it really, really stood out because I did not like Kate. I thought she was the coyote. I thought that was the coyote's name in the film, but no, that's the name of the daughter in the film, Kate, like I said. I didn't think that the film didn't really do an excellent job in that, really exploring that relationship. And I just, like I said, I really didn't like Kate as a character.
That aspect, it was weaker, and once again, it was another subplot that wasn't that. I mean, I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it didn't need to be there, but I think it kind of also did because Dave Bautista was clueless. He thought that. I mean, we're talking spoilers now. He thought that she was upset because he had killed the mom, and she knows. She goes, "That's not the reason why." Because you didn't come from me as a father, and I mean, I don't know if that's has to resonate with Zack Snyder, maybe not feeling that he was the perfect father for his daughter at the time. Maybe he was a workaholic. Maybe he was always away, so he felt like he wasn't a perfect father. I don't know.
Because I believe at the time, you might have our viewers might have to go do a little research, but I believe the time she passed away, It was when Justice League came out, and that was in 2000. And that okay, so it was so that was back in 2017. So you have to believe that this was all being developed at the time, and here we are, in 2021, where it's fully developed. She had passed away it's been almost 5 years from now, right now. So this said, really took an emotional toll on him.
That might have been added to the script because I could have sworn someone said yesterday to me that this movie was being developed. He wrote it like right after Dawn of the Dead.
It was going to be a Dawn. Yeah, it was going to be a Dawn of the Dead sequel because I swore it was going to take place in the same universe. But they wrangled they wrangled the apocalypse, I guess, to like normal. But I guess he was like, we'll just make it like its own thing. Because it's like when I first heard Army of the Dead, he said this is a Dawn of the Dead sequel, but he must have changed his mind.
Okay.
It said it was in development hell since like 2007.
Yeah, because he wrote the screenplay. The story was his idea. He worked a lot on this movie because he's also the cinematographer too for this film.
Yeah, the cinematography was pretty good.
Yeah, you see a lot of that blurred stuff.
Rack focus.
That's his style. Yeah.
I thought my TV was messing
focus.
up
There was times I was counting how many times he used a rack focus. I was like, okay, one.
I knew so much.
I was like,
I know. I thought my Dolby Vision was turned off or something.
Oh no.
So what another thing, David? What is this thing with Tia? Do the whole recast thing that you were talking about?
Oh yeah, so
Tara.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Tig Notaro, if you guys didn't know, she stepped in for Chris D'Elia because of his allegations. So Zack wanted him out, but unfortunately that was already filmed, such a long time ago, and they weren't going to get people back to kind of do the reshoots with her. So instead, they filmed her. I thought it was flawlessly done. I mean, she was in front of a green screen and she had to interact with these characters. That being said, I did notice, because I was watching this movie on subtitles. I like to watch just my movies with subtitles, just so I know what everything's being said specifically. And if you noticed, the character of Maria, I don't remember her name, but she's going to be in the final Purge. She says to Tig's character, she says to Batista, what's up with him? And obviously Tig's a female, but people were saying Tig is also a gender fluid character. So I don't know. It could have been someone that
I didn't really pick up on. I could see where people pick up on that. Like I was just because she referred to herself as, I'm just as good as the other guys too. And I feel like females can say that too, because what is this?
I liked her character as a hookup pilot.
They refer to her as she and everything. I just feel like gender, we can talk about gender another time, but I just didn't think it really didn't bother me that much. I thought she did a really good job, with the character. I was a different character for her to take on from anything she's done before, and she stood out, I think, also the most too, out of all the female characters in the film. Yeah, she's a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, I felt the vibes right away. I could tell right when I heard her dialogue. I was like, oh, okay, I understand why they wrote this for Chris D'Elia's character. Like I could see his face pictured like right there. Yeah,
I did too, because I was like, okay, yeah, because I was sitting there imagining like, okay, I pictured D'Elia saying this, and so it was kind of cool that they actually made it kind of flexible and made it actually work for Tig in a way. But then it made me say, okay, then anybody could have played this character, but she did good with her role.
Yeah, and then I guess also too, they kind of some of the roles like where she's running alongside the group, they had to actually CGI her like not CGI. I'm sorry. They had to green screen her in, and then I think they even said, but I didn't notice it, that in one scene they had to CGI her face onto his body.
Yeah, that was weird.
Did you guys know about that?
I read something like that.
When this was all going on, the filming of that had to take place about a year ago.
Yeah.
So. And then obviously this Army of the Dead was probably filmed in 2019. So, and then by then D'Elia wasn't the allegations of D'Elia didn't come out yet. So, seeing all that would have been kind of weird. Okay. Because compared to, she's a little lady.
The body difference is way different.
And then D'Elia is built, because if you follow him on social media, he's a built guy. He's he like works 6'2"
out also.
Yeah. So she's like,
I didn't know that.
Wow. As myself, because I'm like 5'3", 5'4". I'm a short girl, but she's probably the same height as me. And then meanwhile, you look up at Chris D'Elia, he's like 6, like you said, 6 something. So there's obviously a difference in between there.
I mean, I'm sure they could have filmed at different angles. I mean, that's what they do for Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise to make him look taller. they shoot it at an upward angle, you know, to make him look taller. So,
but yeah.
I thought it was good. I mean, you're right. She did do a good job. It was cool to see everybody kind of in their Ocean's 11. There's the safecracker. There's the muscle, obviously. There's the guy who's like the YouTube guy that just wants to kill zombies and stuff. I thought that was pretty funny too.
That was awesome.
Yeah, he's like like and subscribe.
That sounds like us right now. That's so cringe. I hate when movies make characters like that nowadays.
I liked it because it was like that's something that would happen if we had a zombie apocalypse. You know, there would be people like, "Oh, this is a TikTok zombie challenge. How many kills can we get?"
Imagine somebody doing like the say so, TikTok dance, and then they're just killing zombies with a gun.
We would do something like that. Oh, yeah. It's like well, not like the whole cringe factor, but #alive when he took the picture of himself and posted on social media saying like where I'm at and come get me. Like I feel like someone would do that, but they would make it like TikTok and even worse.
What do you guys think of the zombie tigers and the zombie horse?
That was cool.
They said
there was a zombie horse in that?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, the horse, yeah.
It was when they were charging to get them at
Zeus was riding him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that too. Oh yeah, it had a full skull, right? Like a skeleton.
Yeah.
Okay, I now remember. Sorry.
Yeah. I think it was kind of creative and unique for a different zombie because I didn't think of that was the last thing I was thinking to see was like animals that could be turned into zombies. I just assumed they would have just gotten eaten.
Did they say that tiger was sick for freedom?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Because didn't that tiger actually kill one of them or attack one of them?
Attack.
Right.
I forgot which one. They attacked one of them. I think they got put down.
Oh, okay.
I think it did.
Maybe the other one escaped and became a zombie. But I thought it was kind of cool. I kind of go back and try to like, you can't really say that there's zombie lore because they've changed it so much.
Right.
Like they've changed elements of it so much. So I try to think because The Walking Dead showed zombies eating that horse in like the first season. So it's kind of weird. Like, what's the rules of a zombie? Like, theoretically, if it does bite a dog, I'm sure it could come back as the zombie dog. I mean, it has a lot of the same organs as we do and blood and, coursing through its veins. So why not? It has a brain as well. So, I mean, there could be freaking zombie cats and, everything zombie.
Zombie dog.
Speaking of the zombie tiger, it beats up Garrett Dillahunt. Pretty, like, gets eaten.
Dude, one smack from that thing, his face was like falling off.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Like you knew he was that tiger just was like going to town. He's like, I'm gonna rip this guy apart.
I thought
he was a douche anyway. He was a real
douche. I thought he was weak because it's like
I thought he was pretty good.
No, I thought it was just like the weak, like he's the. Because you knew from the get-go when they were doing the planning, like, he's going to screw them over because he's like, I'm the evil sidekick. I'm going to screw all you guys. It's not.
Yeah, you knew right away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm also going to tackle on. It's like, all right, he's going to backstab everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. He locked that gate.
I kind of didn't even know what he was there for. What he was
coyote.
There. Yeah. I kind of didn't even know what he was there for. He said, I'm here to make sure you guys don't take off with the money for Tanaka. But I was like, what? Like, can you monitor from the outside? Like, why do you have to go in with them?
Or even like have talk to them through like a headpiece and let them know what's up.
Yeah. It's that would have raised a red flag if I was in that group that this guy's not one of us.
Yeah, he's like like going back to Aliens. He's like the Paul Reiser character in Aliens.
Yeah.
He got his too in that movie.
Now that I'm talking about this again with you guys for like the second day or whatever, because I talked about it yesterday, I kind of lower my score a little bit, maybe a 3.5 out of 5, because I gave it a 4. But that was more because of the zombie effects, like the effects of an actual zombie movie. Because when you talk about a zombie movie, you're not talking about like Schindler's List or Shawshank Redemption.
No,
obviously, I know what I'm going into, But I thought it was a higher up there because just the quality was so good. I thought at least.
I felt like I pretty much got what when I watched Godzilla for. Zombies, boom, 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 kill, kill, kill. Zombies eat, zombies eat. It's like Godzilla. Zombies mash, zombie kills, Godzilla take over town. Like it's a beat for beat what it is. And I was just like, all right, I give it the same score for Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, I thought it was a little disappointing because I kind of expected a little bit more action, and they kind of tried to take itself a little. The tone was all over the place with it tried to take itself serious, and it had a lot of comedy in it, so it didn't know what it wanted to be. So, and then even when the action happened, it kind of seemed like kind of quick. But when the action did happen, I did like it. But I don't know, I just seemed like there was more that could have been brought to the table.
Did you like it more than Dawn of the Dead?
Hell no.
I think Dawn of the Dead is better.
Yeah, I like Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is like, especially that that was his first movie, and that's when he had the chip on his shoulder to prove that hey, I'm a director, and I thought it was good. That had a great cast. I love Bing Rames in that, and it was very it was a cool zombie movie, especially back in 2004, and it was before zombies became the norm and everything, and it felt cool. It just felt cool, and this one just felt like it tried to be cool, but it just it kind of fell a little flat, and it tried to. I felt like if it was a sequel to Dawn of the Dead, it would have been better.
It just tried to. It tells itself as its own story. That's the whole point.
I like the claustrophobic aspect of Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 version, but obviously with Las Vegas, you just so vast, the desert and whatnot. But I don't know. I just like the action much more in Army of the Dead, and I hated the characters in Dawn of the. I'm sorry, in Army of the Dead, but I hated the characters in Dawn of the Dead. Just the second bunch that comes in, they were so annoying.
Yeah, I
really
agree.
did not like them, but I like Ving Rhames, and I like our lead blonde girl that we did get.
Sarah Polley.
Yeah, I thought she was good.
I will say, at least Dawn of the Dead, the characters, at least at the end, you kind of some of them are kind of dicks at the beginning, but at near the end, you're like, oh yeah, I'm fine with you, man. Yeah, but this one I felt like the only one I really cared about was Batista, and he bit the dust, and it's. Can we talk about how the daughter went to go save this woman, the Gita? And
that's the reason why I did not like her.
She saved her, and then we cut to her a few more times, and then when the helicopter crashed, never hear from her again. We don't even know if she's dead. We don't know if she's still alive. It just says that hey, take care of Gita's kids. But wait, is she dead? What happened? We don't even see the body. What?
A lot of off-screen kills. Yeah.
I don't like that. No, that's not good.
Yeah. But one last thing before we end off with our talk. The leader zombie Zeus, I wanted to mention this earlier. He has a zombie cape to show off his higher level of hierarchy, but he also has this mask. It's a half it's half, metal this thing, and I thought this was kind of a reference to the Batman movies.
Tell me. Do you bleed? You will.
Which one? Affleck or the Bills?
His movies that he did with Affleck, and his time directing them. He wanted to pay maybe some more of homage to it, or give it an allusion to it, and I think that's what he did.
Even 300.
In 300.
Oh yeah.
I actually thought it was pretty genius, especially when you're going for a headshot for a zombie. That's the only pretty much way to kill him. Because even if you decapitate him, we saw with the wife, she was still moving around, and with that, he was protected. I mean, he was thinking ahead of what they were doing. They were still shooting at him when he had the freaking helmet on. They're wasting. They were wasting bullets. So I thought it was kind of a cool. Genius, but I didn't even notice. But it could be a nod to those movies.
But that's all I wanted to say. Those were my thoughts. I give the film. Let's just rank it now. So I'm gonna say I give the film a B-. To be fair, maybe a C+. I'm still debating on whether my score or not, but it's in between there. It's watchable, but I can't always recommend it to everybody. It's like, it's pretty much what, if you watch it for what it is, like, how I like, we did that really fun Godzilla vs. Kong marathon with our friend AJ. Like I pretty much said there, you know what to expect, and it's just to turn off your brain and to watch it as it is. It's there for fans, and I think once you watched it, you pretty much got what you were expecting.
I will give my score. If we're doing a letter grade, I probably give it a B plus. And okay. I would recommend it for zombie fans, but just kind of let them know ahead of time that the whole intelligent zombie factor of it, that it's going to be a little different than what they were used to. I mean, we grew up on slow moving zombies, running zombies. Right. Resident Evil zombies, which I don't even know if you call those zombies. They're just it's like a virus outbreak, so it's a little different.
28 weeks later.
Yeah, exactly. So there's so many variations that it's like kind of go in knowing that you're going to see something a little different from the zombie genre.
I'm with David too. I'm gonna give it a B plus. I really enjoyed it for what it was, and the action I like that, and I'm really impressed with Dave Bautista's carrying the movie. So we hope to see him in more lead roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna go letter grades. I'm gonna give it a C plus because I think it's just. I feel like if this came out in theaters, I think it would have been kind of mixed because I see like a lot of it has. I think it has a positive score on Rotten Tomatoes as we speak right now, and I think that like it's a good Netflix movie to just. It's a fun Netflix zombie movie.
You could just turn it off and have it on, and you know what it is. Like I said earlier.
I feel like if this came out in like theaters, like a wide release for like a zombie movie, I don't think it would have done that well. But for
I think Netflix zombie, well. I think it would have done well. Sorry to cut you off. Because the World War Z did really good in theaters. We were supposed to have all those. It was bad, but it made the money. That's where it was like. That's where we all make it nowadays. Is the money is most important. So I think it would have done well. Because given the Walking Dead audience, I think they would have gone to see it.
Do you guys know when or how they calculate how much money they make based off of like Netflix streams?
By clicks.
But is that like calculated like weekly, monthly? How do they determine like it made this much, like a weekend run or something?
They do it. I think that goes by like a certain tri-quarter. Like there's like quarter events that happen.
Oh, okay.
There's reports that come out, and
the only reason I'm asking is because this budget was $90 million, and I'm kind of wondering how they're going to determine like what it's expected to make, I guess.
So I don't think there's so much of that. I think it depends on like how many people click on of it, because that's where the money comes in from it, is how many people really do click on it.
And subscriber counts too, probably.
Subscriber count, yes. I think that comes into the secondary factor because, we saw that with, like an example, the WandaVision show. The WandaVision show did really help, bring in newer subscribers to Disney Plus, but it's all about, the word of mouth of it itself and how many people click on. Because, like what we saw with Wonder Woman 1984, some people couldn't finish watching it and it still counted, as a viewer. They watched it, they clicked on it. And that's where the help of the money came in.
Okay.
But if that's
we'll see what those numbers are.
Yeah.
There will be. I'm sure they're going to release some kind of streaming numbers given the success of it. But to go back to it, it's a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critic rating, and I think it's at 73. I just looked it up. I just closed out of my window.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now too.
Wow.
Has a 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb. Usually the IMDb is higher than the Rotten Tomatoes, but this is lower.
Oh wow!
So, I mean, geez, okay. It kind of got me a little depressed because I was hoping. I really do personally. I want the zombie genre to come back in a good, healthy way. Obviously, because I mean, if you do follow like horror movies that are straight to VOD or like straight to physical media. Obviously, the budget's lower for horror movies.
Yeah.
I feel like it's such an easy way to put out a movie is just create a horror movie, right? And there's so many hundreds and probably thousands of zombie direct to DVD stuff. They're all bad. Like a lot of them are bad guys, and that's kind of what gives zombies a bad name. I think it's like an easy go-to to make a movie.
Yeah, we had don't forget the one movie where they had German soldiers as zombies in the snow.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
That
was actually good. Dead Snow. I thought that's pretty good.
I did not like it.
That one's fun. That one's fun to me.
That was your Dollar Tree find, wasn't it?
No. That was Outpost. That's a different Nazi zombie one. They have a lot of zombie Nazi movies.
Oh no, we're gonna get demonetized. We can't say that word on YouTube. We gotta say. Podcast. Yeah, that's true. Okay. But watch it. It's kind of like that's a zombie movie where like it's so crazy at first, and then like you watch it, you're like, okay,
it knows.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is though, because I believe it's like I think that is actually a German or Russian movie. It just shows you that zombies are international.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the cool thing. That's the cool thing about it.
I think in the right after Dawn of the Dead, you got those Italian-made zombie movies too, like one called Zombie. That was Italian.
Or even back in the 70s, weren't they doing a lot of like I never can say it, gialli? What's the style of like Italian horror? It's called like what Suspiria was. It's called something.
You guys know what I'm talking about? I know what you're talking. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it's a certain term where it's I forget what it is, but
they made it Italian.
Yeah, they made Italian zombie. Yeah, zombie movies. Oh yeah, it was called Zombie.
Dario Argento was the director of a lot like Hesperia and all those.
Exactly. A lot of those.
That was the version for Dawn of the Dead, right? Because I'm
enjoying the Argento cut.
Exactly. I think it's called Giallo Giallo Films. Yeah, I'm looking at it right here.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I heard that term. You're right. Yeah, Giallo.
I think it's a certain style of Italian filmmaking, but a lot of them had zombies in them. But yeah, sorry to go off topic, but yeah, that's kind of I just wanted to say that it goes back, and then it also, it is an international type of thing.
I want to see the prequel. I can't wait to maybe.
I'm interested.
Expand the world.
Same.
How the origin happened? Was it? I think it's a government thing. They were trying to weaponize people, and something went wrong.
I think so too. Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna weaponize, if you're gonna create like a super soldier, why not just go the Chappie route and just put them on the front lines? That's what I always envisioned. Yeah. That's what actually was gonna be the future, is that robots were gonna be in the front lines so that humans don't take the hit of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you put zombies? Because what if the zombies turn on you?
Exactly. Chappie and I got it. Chappie and Army of the Dead crossover. Let's do it next movie.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's time we wrap this up. All right, so to wrap up today's show, we're all just going to go over what we've been watching lately. We're going to go from, we're going to go from guests to the regular co. So, Rob, would you like to go first? What you've been watching first?
Yeah, sure. I recently went to AMC and caught a movie a thriller called Profile.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a solid thriller, kind of like this same kind of type of movie like Searching was with John Cho, that sort of POV, and really had a good time, based on a true story, I believe, right?
Really?
And, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
It was based on a book too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I saw it too. I thought it was pretty good I reviewed that film. If anybody wants to go review that. It's not too bad. I think I like for, POV, camera movies like that, internet movies, I think the better one is Searching, because the interesting thing is that Searching came out in 2018. This movie was also released and was set to come out in 2018. So they both were like released around the same time. Like Searching premiered at Sundance, Profile premiered at the Berlin 68th Film Festival, and just never got its time to shine with audiences. And here we are, 2021, almost like 4 years later, and it's making its rounds. I know when we talked, David, when we did our live stream, you mentioned about seeing it. Did you get to see it yet?
Profile?
Yeah.
No, I think that was on the same day I was going to go see another movie. It was on a Thursday night, I think, right? So I didn't get a chance to see that because I think that's when I was going to see. Oh God, what was the last one? Yeah, that's when we got to go see Spiral. Yeah, yeah. So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see it. I'll probably catch it though on streamer.
Okay.
As far as me, I saw probably the wackiest thing that I mean, I know you guys cover some wacky movies sometimes in your podcast. There is a movie. Let me know if you guys have heard of this one. I want to say it's European. It's called Benny Loves You. Someone posted on the trailer on this online. It's about a killer stuffed animal. More in the vein of like the Child's Play reboot.
Yeah.
Like the Child's Play reboot. I gotta say that some of the whatever they filmed this in front of a green screen or CGI, it looked really clean. But as far as like everything else, like the acting, the story was just god awful. But the doll itself looked really funny. The kills were really cool.
Is this a newer film?
It says 2019, but I think it came out on streamer like just maybe last year or earlier this year. I'm not really sure.
What kind of doll is it?
It said it came out. Okay.
Go ahead.
It said it came out. It came out in streaming on the United States on May 7th this year, but it came out in the UK.
Yeah, so I just barely saw it. The doll itself, it looks really goofy. You gotta like, it looks kind of like a rabbit, like kind of like a bunny rabbit, and all he says is "Benny loves you." That's all he says.
It's demonic. But I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, there it is. There he is.
I've been seeing that poster go around. Okay.
So
it's like a demonic Elmo.
Yeah.
A demonic Elmo, or it's like it looks like a puppet chair from like the Muppets.
But he actually just moves, like runs around, and they have a lot of slow motion shots of him, like yay, like jumping with a knife. It's really weird. It's about a kid who grows up with this doll. You'll see about his past, and he gets old enough to kind of put him away, but of course he doesn't want to get put away, and he just ends up killing because he doesn't have enough attention on him. It's really weird and bizarre. But I did see that recently, and then I did see the Toni Collette movie Dream Horse.
Yes.
I actually had a really good time with that. I don't watch too many family. It's kind of it's a PG movie. Bleecker Street put it out, and I thought it was really, really like warm-hearted and lighthearted. I don't see too many of the horse movies. I just picked up Seabiscuit at a thrift store for a couple of bucks recently on Blu-ray. I got to watch that one now. And people told me to watch.
First time watch that. You got to do a video on that Seabiscuit.
For Seabiscuit.
Toby McGuire's in that, right?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah, and then people told me to check out like War Horse and Black Beauty.
Horse. Oh, that movie's so good. I read the book to War Horse.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to check. But those are the two ones that I have checked out recently.
On my end, I also saw Dream Horse. Shout out to Bleecker Street, because I used to actually work for them. For someone who some of you viewers may not know, I interned for them. They're an outstanding company. They really love what they do, and I always admire their work, and I always love to go and support them. And if you want to help support them, you should. They do a lot of independent films. They're like A24 in a way, but they really stand on their own what they want to put out in the world. But anyways, I also saw Dream Horse. I also saw, Spiral. And I watched Those Who Wish Me Dead. And shout out to Watch Your Pass for sending me a pass to go see it. I saw it in theaters, so I know some people watched it on HBO Max, but it was a really different theater-going experience watching it there, especially with some of the action sequences and the fire that really escalates in the movie. Oh my gosh, the sound design is really, really nicely done in that movie in a theater.
I love the actress that played the pregnant woman. That was also she was like a survivalist.
Yeah.
She was a very powerful character to me.
She
And then
was
John
outstanding.
Bernthal as well.
The casting was really, really good in this film. In that film, is it Taylor Sheridan's weakest film? Yeah, yes, but it's a really good action movie. There's some like really like questions that left me for a red herring. Like okay, like kind of like what we were talking about. That's was left a little bit unexplained, and
that introduction, the dad character, the introduction of the dad character.
And especially in stuff involving the dad, there was a lot of questions that left me unanswered, and curious why. But it still gave me that intense feeling, really rooting for it. And funny thing is, I saw this movie with my mom, and I love when my mom reacts to certain stuff in movies. Like when she sees somebody killed, she likes to cover her face, like she goes, "Oh my god!" Taking my mom to see certain like action thriller movies, because her reaction's just priceless. But it was fun. We had a good time watching it, But nowhere as strong as Sheridan's best movies though. It is better than his recent film, the Without Remorse, because he wrote the screenplay for that, which is the Michael B. Jordan movie that just came out.
Oh yeah.
That was a disappointment. I was really rooting for that movie. I really was, and I was disappointed. But that's what I watched. But I've also been watching Mosquito Coast, which is on Apple TV Plus, and the Freeform series Cruel Summer.
Okay.
And Stephen King has also recommended that series, so go check that out.
Nice.
For me, what I've been watching lately, I went to go see Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. Thank you. Yes, God. Loved it. I loved it. I thought it was a good action movie. It was really fun to watch. Me and my dad. Then I watched Mortal Kombat. Enough said about that one. Then I saw Spiral, and then recently on Netflix, I got recommended this movie that I remembered, but I put it on mine. It's called Cam. Have you guys ever seen Cam?
Oh yeah, I've seen Cam.
They're the ones that are doing the reboot for or a film of Faces of Death. Rob, remember Faces of Death?
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're doing a lot. Do you
Part
guys remember
2,
that? I know
3.
you guys are.
Yeah,
you guys are younger. Do you guys
we
remember?
talked about this on
Those
your
Faces of Death.
on your live stream, your weekly wrap up, and that was a lot of fun. And I remember watching Faces of Death in college, like in my master's class, and I just remember him like being so cringeworthy. It's an awful film. Awful films to begin with. They're not worthy of a watch, but
Mac, it's pretty much like almost like a documentary style of like horrific deaths and tortures, and like it's supposed to be. So the Faces of Death thing, it was advertised as like real footage, but a lot of it is recreated. So for its time, it came out like in the 70s, man. I mean, but they had so many sequels, and it was banned in like 46 countries.
Damn! Oh my gosh!
That Cannibal Holocaust was banned almost anywhere. Imagine this.
Yeah. So it's kind of in the same vein of that, but they're making that the Cam people are making that or a movie, I guess.
I might have to watch it because Cam. I did not like Cam. Cam was so laughably like bad that I might have to see Faces of Death. Is there somewhere? Is there somewhere I can watch Faces of Death?
You might be able to get it on YouTube, because I feel like since a lot of them are recreations, it's probably not that bad. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like YouTube might block it then, given what it is. But
yeah, it might be hard to kind of find.
When you say recreations, I'm thinking of those bad like office PSAs of like workplace safety of like, if you do this, you're gonna get your arm cut off.
Something like that.
That's what I'm thinking of.
So for example, I always remember this one. I think it's from Faces of Death, the original, just one, where they go to a place. It might be like in Taiwan or something like that, where
I know what you're talking about.
this group of people sit around a table, and they bring a monkey out, and they put him in the middle of the table, and they lock this thing where around his neck, and everybody grabs a mallet and starts hitting him on the head with it until he dies. But the film's, it's edited, so like you can they cut back and forth, to the reactions and stuff. And then they show the head, and like the monkey's like dead like this.
You can tell it's fake.
But then, when they cut open his head, and you could tell it's fake. It's fake, and they're eating the monkey brains.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think they actually do this in other countries, but in that scene, I think it was all fake. So.
Yeah, it's like that scene in Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
they say what's wrong with these movies, and then they say what's wrong with Hollywood. It's just like it's not even Hollywood. I'm sure it was like an independent film, but it's like what's wrong with people.
But then
did they show the scene? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say there is a scene of like a guy lighting himself on fire at a protest, and that was real. That's actually real.
Yeah.
So there's some sprinkled in there with like real death and stuff.
Yeah, and there's one with somebody get mauled by a grizzly bear. That was so fake.
Yeah.
You remember that? It's so that's shaky
I
cam
remember
right
one.
there.
There was like one with like an alligator. I think in the first one, right? There was somebody like an alligator attack.
A lot of animal attacks.
yeah, a lot of animal attacks.
Look it up. You'll see the cover is like a skeleton, like with a snake or something.
Yeah, give you a warning sign.
Yeah, it's interesting, but it's one of those like. I remember going to the video store, like not like a Hollywood video or Blockbuster video. It was like these mom and pop video stores.
Yeah,
and it was in a section that said special interest. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like its own little category. It's funny, man. But yeah, that's the cam people.
I think we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna go look up Faces of Death after this, but
yeah, check it out.
I
have a good Sunday night with that.
Yeah, and on that note,
I want to thank everyone for coming on. Rob, David,
thanks.
thank you both for coming on. We had a great time. We are now over 3 hours and 40 minutes of total Skype time. So it's been. Yeah, this is a Snyder Cut of the podcast. So links to everyone's social media in the profile in the description below. I'm so tired. I can't even do this outro. But until next time, in the next episode, we'll see you guys later. Peace.
Peace
bye.
out.
You in the lane you came with. Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch. Nah, all that shit in fifth. Rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star. I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue hundreds. I'm too money. Ay, and my little bitch, she too lovely. Yeah, hanging up and calling me right back. Ay, baby, why you calling me like that? Yeah, getting high with the seat laid back. Baby, gon' relax, yeah. Hey, they don't know the half, yeah. No matter what happened, I got your back. Baby, that's the facts, yeah. That's the facts, yeah.